Hi everyone, in this video, this is a video of a response to Jared Polin's recent video that came out, which is a very valid video. He's put it as is his rant for analysis of paralysis of analysis. Get it right. And he's been going on about how too many people are looking at analysing the photos that are coming from the latest crop of high-end cameras that are coming on the market. He makes a very good point that, it doesn't really matter about these laboratory tests that are coming out of these cameras. It's more important going out and taking photos and being creative and getting awesome shots. And yes, I agree with that entirely. I also agree that a photo taken by a professional with a crap camera will always be better than a photo taken by a crap photographer with an amazing camera. However, I kind of still think that when you're at a level of photography where the quality of your photos is not any more defined by your creativity, because that is already justified, and you are trying to get the absolute very best from the tools that you use, then I think you do still have to absolutely analyse every bit of detail about the equipment that you're using for your work. Now, listen carefully what I said there. It's for your work. I'm not talking about the average shooter that goes out and takes a photo of their dog in the park. No, this is for people who make their living out of photography. People who are already known in the land of photography for being brilliant and creating brilliant shots. This also comes towards the people who are doing their best to get there and are wanting to have the absolute best tools possible. That if you are spending, for example, the D800 which has come out is £2,500 worth of camera. Now if you're a rich kid and you've got money to just spend on stuff to take photos, that's fine. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the kind of struggling photographer, maybe amateur trying to get into being a professional photographer, or even the professional photographer who maybe noticed that his amount of money that's coming in is slightly getting less, and they have to think about what they spend their money on as it is the most important thing possible. When £2,500 could effectively be like 6 months worth of profit, you've got to really think and really analyse what you're going to be spending your money on. And if you're going all the way up to something like the D4, that's a £6,000 camera, and if you go for the Canon 1DX, I think that's going to be about £6,300, which, again, if you are a brilliant sports photographer and you've got loads of commissions already, that doesn't matter. You just get the best because it's got the fastest frames a second, the best focus. You've got it. You've got it absolutely fine. But if you're somebody that you have to think about money, and yet your creativity and your skill is at the highest level that you can get it to, then you want to know that if you're going to be spending your money on something, you've really got to know what you're doing. One of the greatest examples is landscape photographers. Some of the highest end landscape cameras aren't any of these 35mm digital SLRs. People are still using film. Why? Because they've analysed how good digital cameras are compared to film, and they go, no, I'm staying with film. They haven't just got the best and the newest. However, the D800, which has come out, from the test on the DxOMark website, is showing that it's doing amazing. So if I were kind of going, which camera is better? Do I get a Canon 5D Mark II or a Nikon D800? I now have a website which has like empirical evidence of which one has a better dynamic range whenever I'm going to be doing landscape photography. So I would, without doubt, choose the D800. And if I were in any way to be spending £6,000 on a D4, I would want to know absolutely every single bit of detail about that camera before I even think about putting my money down on a deposit for it. Also, in one of Jared's previous videos where he was reading the comments which the Nikon staff had told him, they were saying to him, oh yes, the D4, its ISO performance is at least a stop better than the D3S. That's great, that's a great thing. If I heard that, I'd be like, I want to buy it. But from the evidence that's been shown to me, that's not been the case. Okay, you've got better video, you've got faster frames a second, you've got better autofocus, all that stuff is absolutely great. But let's say you are a wedding photographer and all you want is to have an ability to shoot at 51,000 ISO and have the cleanest possible images that can really separate you from the average Joe that goes to the wedding with his great camera, and you're able to get just the cleaner images along with, you know, all the great shots that you can get. Just knowing that the great shots that you can get can be as clean as they want. I would want to know that the camera which I'm buying is going to be the best one for the job that I can do. And that's where the blurb or the media bump that the camera company has given out, saying, oh yeah, the D4 has got better ISO performance, hasn't been proven. And I would be really not too happy about kind of, is it being fed lies or is it just kind of spin? Either way, I would definitely be waiting until there's been lots of reviews, lots of tests, lots of, yeah, okay, maybe lab tests, but I want to see the lab test. I want to see one lab test compared to another lab test and see the difference. You know, a lab test compared to a out in the field test, they don't make sense. One person's out in the field test, you know, maybe shooting inside a building, may not be the same as somebody else's inside a building, because you're really looking at two completely different scenarios in every single thing. So that's where I still think lab tests are pretty good things. However, again, I would generally say, yeah, for creativity, to be a great photographer, it doesn't matter about the camera that you're using. It's all about the photos that you take. And generally, every camera under the kind of £1,000 bracket, they're all awesome. They're all perfectly good. They can all do exactly what you want them to do. So when you're going up to the real upper echelons of the camera world, like the £4,000 region, that's when the tiniest of differences are what really make you put your money down. I mean, look at Hasselblad. Their cheapest camera is £10,000. It doesn't even have as many megapixels as D800, but yet it's colour, it's tones, it's, well, certainly not its ISO, because that's rubbish. So yeah, whenever you're thinking about buying a camera, don't just put down your money on something which has not even been tested, or that you haven't even seen any results from. Don't think, oh well, it's a new generation, it's going to be better. It will be better in many ways, but will it be better in the way that you want it to be? So maybe it will have better ISO, but will it be a cleaner image? It may have faster frames a second, but will the autofocus be as accurate? That's what I say, is always wait a good couple of months of people actually testing out the cameras to see what all their complaints are before you go and spend your hard-earned cash. So I say analyse as much as you want. That's just my thought of the day. Hope that helps. Bye bye.